Advisory we told you about yesterday. It is now considered an extreme heat warning. This is in place through 8 p.m. this evening for all of southeast Texas. That's because our heat index value, the combination of temperatures and humidity, can feel up to 114 degrees this afternoon. That extreme heat warning is until 8 p.m. and which time it's going to turn into an heat advisory. It's going to last through Saturday. Now, it's less about the actual temperature. The reason why we have that extreme heat warning is our dew points. Our humidity values are so high, it's considered extreme. That means when you look at our temperatures, not looking too bad right now. Upper 80s, lower 90s, 91 here in Houston. But factor in that humidity. Everybody already feeling anywhere from 106 to 108 degrees. It feels like 109 in Columbus, 104 in Huntsville, down on the island, 104 as well. This is dangerous heat, and Joel, it's going to be sticking around into Juneteenth and Father's Day weekend. I've got more on your full forecast coming up.
Okay, sounds pretty brutal. Thank you, Caroline. Different story, a weather 180 as you call it.
It absolutely is. I mean, we went straight from tropical storm alerts and flood watches to now extreme heat alerts.
Hot out there.
I know. Take a look. Bama, Georgia, they are dealing with extreme flooding from Arthur today. Here at home, though, we are dealing with the extreme heat. We've got plenty of tropical moisture in play, and this is why heat index values today going to be up to 104. Not done with the heat yet. In fact, the National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory that goes in place starting at 8 p.m. tonight, right when the excessive heat warning ends, and goes all the way through Saturday night. That's because even through the overnight hours, we're not going to have a big break from the heat. In fact, we're going to really struggle to cool down because of our high moisture content. A live look outside showing a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, but most of us not going to feel any difference between the shade and the sunshine because of that high humidity. Actual air temperature right now, upper 80s, lower 90s. But this is only telling half of the story. The main part of our story is when you factor in that humidity, it already feels like 111 in Katy, 109 in El Campo. This is some serious heat, and this is the hottest we've been all year long. That's why we urge you to please be careful out there. Heat and humidity, you can see temperatures shown here in the orange bars. That's what you can expect into the afternoon. Actual air temperature reaching the mid 90s. Factor in that humidity, and we're going to be feeling 108 to 114 degrees. But I wanted to show you this because even after sunset tonight, we're not going to cool down and start feeling a lot better. In fact, at 11 o'clock, 84 degrees, still feeling like 95. As we head through Father's Day weekend, Friday and Saturday, I'm not expecting anything widespread, certainly nothing like what we have been seeing. And the benefit is if you do see a rain shower, that's going to help cool you down. Here in Houston, 109 degrees. This is the start of several extreme heat days. Your full forecast. Extreme heat alerts. In fact, it's not just a heat advisory we're tracking. We have an extreme heat warning in place through 8 o'clock this evening. That's for all of southeast Texas. We're going to feel up to 114 degrees when you factor in the temperatures and the humidity. Now, a live look in Galveston, you can see we've got a mix of sunshine and cloud cover, but I'll tell you what, those clouds are not producing any shade that's going to make you feel comfortable because of that high tropical humidity. Now, actual air temperature, this is hot on its own, 95 in Houston, 95 up in Conroe, but the big change is the high humidity. Factor in the humidity and everybody feeling anywhere from 106 to 118 out in Brenham, 108 for our friends in Huntsville. This is a dangerous day. These are the hottest values we've seen all year long. After school cast, really just after daycare cast, taking the kiddos out to the playground, temperatures not going to cool down quickly. In fact, even into the evening, still feels like 100 degrees, Joel, at 9 p.m. at night.
Carolina's kind of nuts out there. We got to be really careful. And with these temperatures soaring, Harris County.
And protecting yourself.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for your pets.
For sure.
It is so important that they stay hydrated. Make sure they have shade. You can bring them inside. They want the air conditioning too.
Me too. I know my dog does.
My dogs do not want to be outside right now. Our main concern is now going to be the heat. We've got an extreme heat warning through 8 p.m. this evening, where heat index values, a combination of temperature and humidity, up to 114 degrees. Now, when this warning ends at 8 p.m., we are not in the clear. In fact, the National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory that starts at 8 p.m. tonight and lasts all the way through Saturday night. The reason why this is lasting through the evening hours as well is because we're not cooling down efficiently. In fact, this morning at 7:30 here in Houston, our heat index was already 95 degrees. Yeah, we're not seeing any big relief overnight. And certainly the afternoon's the worst time to get out and about right now. 95 in Tomball, 93 for our friends out in Hobby Airport. Factor in the humidity, add at least 10 degrees, 15 in some cases. Galveston feels like 108, feels like 106 in College Station. Katy, 113. This is dangerous heat, and our bodies are not used to this whatsoever. This is by far the hottest day we've seen so far this year. And as we go over the next several days, every day we're going to continue to see dangerous heat index values. This means you got to take care of yourself. Drink plenty of water and do what we call pre-hydrating. That means drinking water well before you are even exposed to the heat. You can see as we head into the evening hours, temperatures cooling only into the lower 80s, continuing to feel like the 90s through the overnight period. Father's Day weekend, you'll see we've got an extreme heat warning, which is above a heat advisory. That's going to be in place through 8 p.m. this evening because heat index values up to 114 degrees. And let me tell you, it's certainly coming to fruition. Actual air temperature, even just this alone, would be an extremely hot day right now. 95 in Tomball, 93 for our friends up in Washington County. But our temperatures only show half of the photo. The full picture is going to be when you factor in the humidity, and this is where it gets absolutely dangerous. Right now, it feels like 108 in Conroe, 109 in Liberty. Brenham feels like 118. And as we head through the evening, temperatures slow to cool down. The problem is we have ample tropical humidity in place that prevents us from cooling down efficiently. Lisa, Joel, as we head through the evening, going to be feeling like the 90s.
Really, really dangerous out there. All right, Caroline, thank you.
Today, it really isn't going to make a difference. This heat is intense everywhere. Where the concrete's going to make it really bad is the overnight hours.
Right.
That's going to help us retain the heat here in Houston. At 8, immediately it's going to be replaced with a heat advisory that goes in place at 8 o'clock tonight, lasting through Saturday evening. That's because it's going to feel up to 108 degrees. And through the overnight period, we are hardly going to cool down. Temperatures right now sitting at 95 in Houston, 93 in Sugar Land, and just this alone is not great. Factor in that humidity, which the humidity is extreme, and it feels anywhere between 111 in Tomball, 115 in El Campo, 108 in Winnie. This is just dangerous heat, which is why we're reminding folks, please be careful, listen to your body. Heat and humidity values as we head through the evening hours, 9 o'clock, 86 degrees. Still feels like 100. You'll notice through the overnight period, we are not going to see our temperatures cool down very efficiently. In fact, starting off our Friday morning, a few spots dropping to 79, but here in Houston, 82 degrees. Keep in mind, this morning at 7:30 a.m., our heat index value was already 95, and that's going to be the situation as we head into the day tomorrow. Father's Day weekend is going to show temperatures reaching the 90s every single day. Juneteenth and Saturday, we do have a 30 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. That's primarily going to be in the afternoon. And because of all that tropical humidity in place, if you do see it, you can see a pretty hefty downpour. But I really do think the bigger story is going to be these intense temperatures as we start off our day on Friday. Feeling like the 90s before sunrise. Once we get to 11 a.m., already feeling like 104 to 106. This is why the heat advisory is in place for Friday. At the heat of the day, up to 110 degrees. This is that flash flood risk for the day tomorrow. Once again, we're not expecting anything widespread, but if you do see a thunderstorm, it can come with a heavy tropical downpour. Our extended forecast fest happening. In fact, our own chief big game, well, it is going to be miserably hot. The problem is less the temperatures, more the humidity values. I mean, temperatures not too great out there, sitting in the mid 90s, 95 here in Houston, 94 out in Columbus. The problem is our high humidity values. We've got dew points upper 70s, even low 80s, about as humid as we can get here in Houston. That's why when you factor in the humidity, it feels anywhere from 111 to 122 in Brenham, 108 in Cleveland, 117 in Katy. This is serious heat, and this is why we're urging folks, please be careful, listen to your body, take breaks. Nobody is immune from the heat. As we go through the rest of the evening tonight, you're going to see temperatures extremely slow to cool down. Sunset around 8:30 this time of year. You'll notice at 9 o'clock still 86 degrees, and Lisa, Joel, 86, feeling like 100 at 9.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Can you just cool it down a few degrees for us?
I mean, I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter really what the temperature is right now because the humidity is so high. It's the feels like values. I'm going to show you dew points. And usually when it's 71, 72, I'm out here saying it's humid.
Yeah.
It's sticky. Forecast from the high heat index values to our warm mornings and the rain chances Friday night. Let's talk about it because this is the main part of our forecast. Actual air temperature right now sitting in the mid 90s, 95 here in Houston, 93 in Sugar Land, but because we have such a high moisture content in our atmosphere, those mid 90s actually feeling closer to 110. Right now here in Houston feels like 110. Brenham, Washington County feels like 122, feels like 106 in Angleton. This is uncomfortable. This is downright dangerous. Please, if you're outside, be kind to yourself. Be dropping into the 80s, but factor in the humidity. 9 o'clock still feels like 100 degrees. And look at these morning low temperatures. 82 degrees at 5 a.m. here in Houston. We are going to struggle to get below the 80s. 82 for our low. This morning at 7:30, it felt like 95. I expect tomorrow to be the same way. And if you are a jogger or a walker, you like to get outside, that's the best time to get out there because as we head into the afternoon and Saturday, I do want to stress, I think the big story is still going to be on the heat. But as we go Friday afternoon and evening, after sunset on Friday, we will have the possibility, about a 20 to 30% chance of a few downpours, especially well to the north of I-10. Otherwise, most of the day is going to be all about the heat. You can see heat index values well above 105, and that's going to be staying with us through the entire weekend. This is why we're saying, please be careful out there. This is the hottest stretch we've seen so far this year, and it's less about the temperatures, more about the high humidity as we head through the next few